Hi, everybody. I'm Shari Schwick behind the wheels of Schwick Wheels at the podcast. Today, I'm very excited to have our father and son duo. We have Sam from Sam's Window Tinting and Sammy from Wrap Time. Thank you guys for being here on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Uncle Billy will be here in a second. I got a little nervous with the call out for a second.
Yeah, that's gonna go.
I gotta fix this for you, bro. Look, this is can't be there. Not here.
That's the first thing he said.
Look, no, it's not acceptable. Look at this. No way.
That's
Come on, man.
I don't know.
You gotta stand this week. You
We'll
kidding
all
me?
put that shit in,
This
man.
shit's gotta go. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna tin all these windows up for you.
There's this misnomer, I think, of entrepreneurship. Like, you make your own hours. I'm like, yes, I get to pick the 100 hours a week I
My
want
wife
to
will tell
work.
you about that.
Yeah. And so the phone is always constantly going.
You make your own hours. Most of the time you're going to be working more.
Yeah.
Me, it's a lifestyle. If you
It
own
is
a
a
business
lifestyle.
and you're an entrepreneur, it's a lifestyle. You want to go get it. You know
I
what I
have
mean? If
to-
you're not going to get it, then you're just doing it
not coming to
to make your short hours. You're not gonna. What you put out is what you're gonna get.
Yeah. And then I think you two can also speak to this a little bit, to the same thing that me and Billy do, but I'll let you say it from your side because you are family. And then and there'll be events or like even just this, and then like each other's phones are going off. And just kind of walk everybody through the dynamic of being with family and being an entrepreneur and your phone is going off. And
Just like anything else, it's got its pros and cons. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just like anything, it's got the extreme pros and extreme cons. You know, it's not always easy. There's a lot of emotions, highs, up and downs, but you learn to regulate it all. You learn as
Yeah.
time goes by, figure it out. And you're growing up together too. Like me and him, he had me when he was 19.
Really young.
really?
I'm 33 now. I'm about to be 34.
Okay.
So, we grew up together. So I was tinting
Interesting.
since I was 8 years old. Like I said, it's a
I used to take
lifestyle.
him to work with me.
Yeah.
He
used to
had a
hang out all the
business.
time when he was
He
little.
started tinting in high school.
Yeah, high school.
His business was established before I was born. And then as I grew up, that's how he fed the family.
right.
So I grew up around cars.
That's sick.
I remember I was 4 years old and I went in. My birthday was a week before, and I was in love with Barney. Barney came.
No way.
Barney came to my birthday party, and I was so excited, and I was like, "Yeah, this is awesome." A week later, I ran into my dad's garage, and I would always help him out with
no.
vacuuming and everything.
I know
I
where this
opened
is
the
going.
trunk, and
Yeah,
Barney was
Barney.
laying right there in the trunk.
The
and
happy
I
dead
was
dinosaur.
so broke. I screamed, dude. But it was so funny. It's like I remember that so much now, and it's just hilarious. But
Evidently.
that's how Tint started. Tint brought my wife to me. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hey, we can
My
know
wife walked
many
into the shop
things.
and got a car. Said anything you've ever needed.
So you saw her first.
Dude, it's
I can
crazy.
tell you the
She
story about that
couldn't- she
one.
couldn't see
I'll
you.
tell you the story about
Please
that
tell
one.
the story. What is your wife's name?
Shari.
Shari. Oh, that's
Shari.
awesome.
Everybody calls her Sherry.
And some
Everybody.
people call me Shari.
Everybody. It's so funny.
Happened at Shake Shack yesterday. Shari. Over here.
My wife just accepts it.
But
now.
please tell the story of how Shari.
That was interesting. We were at our shop, and a lot of times, Sammy's always in the back. We always work. We love to work. We love to do what we do. And
Yeah.
somebody
wasn't
comes
there.
walking, the car was parking up, and Sammy's in the back with me, and just meet him at the shop. And usually customers come in, I would go and greet them. In this case, Shari's coming out of her car, walking up to the store, and Sam's like, "Hey, Dad, I'll talk to this client. I'll take care of her." I said,
This client.
because you know how to
Fancy words.
You gotta really talk to the customer properly.
Of course.
All due respect. And he says, "I got this one, Dad." I said, "All right, no problem." Lo and behold, he gave his best sales. He did his thing. He spoke. We were tinting her car. They ended up having lunch. Next
Yeah, I
thing you know,
didn't
a
let her
couple of days
leave.
later, it was great. He didn't let her leave. It was amazing.
That's
They
very-
found love. Boom.
Like instantly, it was crazy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she's awesome.
You know what I told Billy the first time he asked me from my number? I said, you can ask me Thursday.
Me?
So I think the dynamics are
What
probably
got
a little
me in the
different.
door? Because I told
Yes.
she just got a puppy 2 months
Yes.
before. I was so accepting of the puppy. I was like, bring that puppy. Come on. I love that puppy. The
I love
fact
that
that I
puppy
love
so much.
dude, that puppy got me in the door.
What's
It
the
all worked
puppy's
out.
name?
Callie.
Callie.
But
Oh,
I
that's
told her
cute.
if she just waited like 2 weeks, she would have got the tint for free.
She got the best window tint job that day. I'll tell you that right now.
So why tint? How did that start?
I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
It goes back
High
to the
school.
late '80s. My brother and a family friend, they drove to Florida. They always went every year for the beginning of the season down to Florida. And they went down. They got a 1986 Ford Mustang. They drove it down there. While they're down there for a 2-week vacation, spring break. What I was thinking about.
Oh,
They go
okay.
every year for spring break. This time they happened to buy a Mustang 1986 Ford GT. And while they were down there, they got it tinted. They had a good time. They came back, saw the car looked great. My older brother, he loved the tint, so he went and got it tinted. He came back with his car tinted. And I liked it so much. I finally got my car. And he said, I'll tint your windows. You just go buy the film. I went to school, came back, saw the job was horrible.
Interesting.
It was horrible. I looked in the back seat. I saw some film left over and some instructions from Auto Parts Store. I read it. I took the film off and I tried it.
And a star was born.
No, it came out worse.
Okay.
It came
that's
out worse.
honest.
It came out worse. So I would say for a good 6 months for the rest of my junior year.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day after school. I
On
just
your own
go-
car?
Yeah, I just go.
That's
couldn't
awesome.
drive it. My wife's car.
Teachers.
Yeah, I just practiced and kept going. It was a hobby, and next thing you know, I did the whole senior parking lot's car and teachers' cars, and then their homes, and I haven't stopped.
So which high school was this?
Spring Valley Senior High School.
Okay,
Spring
so
Valley,
like
New York.
Spring Valley is like murdered out.
Everybody got
It
their
is.
cars
Now
tinted.
it is. Now it is for sure.
Yeah, now
it is.
I still actually tint a lot of my clients'
You're the
cars.
beginning of the trend of
Now
Spring
it is.
Valley.
It was hard. There was no internet then.
Right.
It was nothing to learn on. It was trial and error. There was nothing to go back. Nobody wanted to teach you. It was like this
Yeah.
hidden secret, But it was good. It was good. I credit a lot of people who did associate and help me out with it.
Okay.
But I kept it moving.
It grew from there.
Haven't
You
stopped.
started tinting. That tint also was the start of so much different films. That was before any vinyl or any PPF or anything like that, any color
No, it
changes
was
or
just-
anything.
You'd have to seam all the
You'd be
windows
seam in the
then.
back glass. There's no shrinking it. You couldn't shrink tint back then, so it's very different. That's not my world. I don't know how it is, but
Right.
I've heard stories.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's fun. I love it.
So then you have this young fella over here,
It's
and
been
he
interesting.
and he just starts coming with you to the garage.
He goes to shop. Yeah, all the time. He loves
If
cars.
I wasn't in sports, I was at the shop working.
He was always in the school.
But I wouldn't call it working.
He was just with daddy.
I was just
Hanging out.
at the shop.
Yeah.
Give me
Hanging
a
out.
squeegee. Give me a
Give me a
window. Give me
squeegee.
some tint. Let me play with it.
And like, how did you know? Like, when was there like a time where it switched over? You were like, oh, I actually need him to. He's got it, and I actually want him to be in here, and now I need him to be in here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The crossover was around 15. He was about 15, almost 16 years old.
Yeah.
I gave him a little bit of vinyl. Or he saw me working with vinyl.
when I got a car.
And he fell in love with the vinyl. And then I got the big printer, digital printing, and that was a whole game changer. And he just fell in love with it. He went with it. Paint protection film, vinyl, anything with film.
Interesting.
A lot of people get at
really
16
great.
years old gets a car. I got a 60-inch printer
Yep.
But that's awesome.
and a laminator.
Yeah.
So I went to work.
Yes.
And you got the Mitsubishi too, though.
Yeah. I had to
You got
do it,
this.
but that was before I was 16.
We've spoken to a couple of 16-year-old, people who started at 16 years old and then did some. They all kind of have like this common thread in between them. Like
Cars.
they didn't get distracted by the noise as the get, but like saw the opportunity of the thing.
Well, you're
and wanted to
also
be a part of the
growing
process.
You're
Yeah.
growing up in it. You know what I mean? It's like you are who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
So if you're growing up in the shop all day, every day, you're like at that age, your parents, you're looking at like superheroes running a business and you're, so you're going to aspire to be that no matter what. And you're going to take traits. Like my son follows
loves
me
cars.
around with a screwdriver,
Oh,
a
thank God.
squeegee.
Thank God.
It's crazy. It's like, and I'll walk home, I'll walk in the door and he'll be like under a table trying to unscrew the table because he sees the screw. Like he's just
I
so
love that.
hands-on. And my son's 2.
That's awesome. That's what you want though for your kids.
It's so funny.
For them to be curious.
So if I'll bring him to the shop, he'll be squeegeeing, cleaning the car. He wants the towels. He wants to do it all.
I got
It's
it,
so
Papa.
funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That's so, because he wants to be a big boy. He wants to be like you guys.
And he does good.
That's
He's gonna be
good.
good.
Yeah, he'd be driving the stick shift. He started driving stick shifts when he was really young
8,
too.
9.
Yeah,
I remember that.
all the nice cars.
I used
Very
to
cool.
put something on the seat. I forgot what it was. Maybe a tire. I put something on the seat, and I learned. I took my driving test on a stick shift car.
That's good.
But I was moving cars around.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to get things in and out of the
Yeah,
shop
yeah,
into, in
it's
and
very
out of
helpful.
At
position.
one point, like it was just annoying waiting for people that I just got in the car and did it.
Then he started to move to Ferrari at 430s, and then it was kind of scary.
Of course.
But
Hey, but I
then
learned.
he got it really good, really quick. I was impressed,
Yeah.
really impressed. He knows how to drive really well.
So he obviously
drive.
he had a layer of respect and understanding
Of the
that
cars.
obviously can only happen because of the culture that you laid down for him too, you know. So what was it like for you, or what was it about watching Dad, particularly with working with the other people? Because like I grew up with my dad, you know, kind of in the music side of like entertaining. So like I saw different sides of my dad. Appropriately so, like him either really animated, really serious, really, you know, like, so what was it like for you to see him not in the context of Dad, but in the context of like, oh, that's Pop working right now?
At home, he'd be Dad. At the shop, he'd be Sam. You know.
Interesting.
But at the shop, like I would see him, and he'd have his business. He had 14 employees. He was running around. You know.
So you were listening to how
I
he was
just
speaking
watching,
to them?
Yeah, watching everything. And as I was growing up, I was like, all right, well, I can add vinyl to this. I could do this, which is what I guess planted the seed into me starting my business of doing what I do. You know, just watching and be like, oh, I could do that. Now I got the blueprint, you know?
Right.
So it got me in the door, and I just watched it and just grew from it,
Gotcha.
you know?
And then what was it like? 'Cause, I mean, if this is too sensitive, you guys let me know. But then, so you're watching him grow,
Yeah, unbelievable.
right?
Yeah.
And then there comes a point where you guys have to make a decision as to do you continue this thing or like, because now you're in.
Well, when you're a teenager, you go through your phases, right? So I went to college. Like I went to college for graphic design. At one point I
I did not know this.
I wanted to stop cars
Yes.
at everything because I was always working at the shop, and then I was like, dude, I want a desk job. I want to be a graphic designer.
yes.
And I did. I went to college. I got my degree, and before I even graduated, I was like, fuck this. I'm going back to
Yes.
cars, you know?
Yeah.
But I took
But
that.
it's necessary.
I took that
Thank God
with
you were
me.
a parent who can let go, because there's parents who don't let go.
No, he got to have his own wings to fly. He's got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want him to have his own identity, his own path, something
Yeah.
he created, something his own legacy too.
Right.
Why not?
Why not? But
Why
like you
not?
said, the graphic designing brought you back to cars.
Brought me back to cars. When I graduated college, I also did not go right back to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I also went and started working I worked at one other shop for a few months, and then I was like, dude, fuck this. I'm going to start my own business and be an independent contractor, and I'm going to get accounts. And that's what I started. And I learned that through him, because he had a shop, but he
So
also
I've
had his
done it.
accounts.
Yep.
You know, so I'm like, all right, how can I have my accounts without going to pay for a shop? So I went and I offered my services at a bunch of shops, and I landed a few big accounts where
You actually helped him grow really good, really substantial.
I got
Wow.
in at the right time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Where they
absolutely.
just started out a year, 2
Well,
years
you were
into
the right
business.
guy for the right
It just worked out.
time.
It was
was
timing
fun.
was everything.
Yeah.
You
Like,
it could be the right time
they
and you're the
start-
wrong guy and it doesn't work.
I went through the trial and error at multiple different shops, so I know what to do, what not to do. I watched so many shops fail or succeed. You know what I mean? The ins and outs. And this one shop only had a few tints like once a week, and I got in there doing tints. When I started it, it was every Tuesday come in and tint. After I started there, and it was a car wash too. I started walking on the car wash line, telling people, you know, you need tints of this and that, and just grew it to 5 tints a day, 7 tints a day, and then started doing wraps and then everything there. So I created that account so that's when I started Wrap Time. Wrap Time would handle all their window tint and vinyl. So any tint vinyl came in, they'd ask me a price, they'd double it. Whatever I charge, you know, they ask me any price, any job, they'd double it. And that's how we did work for about 4 or 5 years.
We could film 25, 30 cars a day on average. That's going back. Nowadays, we have the capabilities of averaging 40, 50 tint jobs for quality
It's a system.
installations.
Yeah, what do you attribute that to?
A day, 38
Trial
years
and error.
experience. Trial and error.
You do it for 38 years, you know.
System that's always improving and always opening to learn more and better, especially with the technology these days. So we're taking them to the extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of good things popping off right now.
Very
we
cool.
started with hand cutting and everything, and then
Yeah.
computer came out.
Master
and we plot
hand
all the
cutting. Yeah, we
windows.
got
You know,
that.
I would
software.
imagine you'd be a
Oh
master
my
at
God.
hand cutting.
Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you prefer to still hand cut?
I do it all.
Depends.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as I'm laying film, it's great. Or my
Depends
team,
on the
we're
job.
all laying film. I'm part of the team. I get in there. I love what I do. Always have.
Right.
Yeah, we do big homes, big buildings. There's not a car we're afraid to touch.
So, if you don't mind, walk me through the different functionalities of different tint, because our audience, you know, typically we're doing car enthusiast stuff, but talk to me a little bit more about the flexibility of tint, the different functions of tint, why you should apply it. I mean, even when we're just thinking like, you know, everything that's happening climate wise,
Absolutely.
you know, just the little layman's that I know, like even with the DMVs now,
Yeah.
you know, they used to be like anti all tint, especially on a windshield. And now the letters are coming out. We have CDL drivers who are like, I need tint on the windshield because number one, hello sunburn. Number two, the amount of heat. So I'm getting ahead of myself now. Talk to me a little bit, if you don't mind, about the different functions of tint and how they can be applied.
We have a bunch of different films for many different cases. For automotive, regarding New York State law, let's say we're in New York. New York Sectional Penal Code 375, State of New York says that on a passenger vehicle, you're allowed to have 70% on all side windows, any shade on the back glass. Most cars, on average, that's a passenger vehicle, meaning a 4-door or 2-door sedan. Normal vehicles, factory glass comes factory already, 70% already.
Yeah.
So you apply any film to that. The meter will read it illegal. But if you go for an exemption to the state of New York, you can apply for it. Many different reasons you're allowed to have it.
Because even your vision after a while can really take a toll.
Sensitivity is huge, especially the new cars, technology with the high beams, headlights, glare issues, prevent people from seeing. So we have different films for different reasons, for clients, for skin cancer, eyes, many different reasons. So,
And then you go into buildings, you said.
Yeah, we do a lot of commercial solar films to help energy efficiency in their buildings. We work with Orange Rock and PSE&G, do energy efficient rebate programs to offset the cost for the building owner, provide tenant client comfort.
I felt a huge difference right away. So we have a home in Florida as well. And one side of my house is west facing.
Oh, yeah. You get the
And so
afternoon.
that sunset in Florida is serious.
Oh yeah.
And so we ended up having tint. You might have to redo that one too. I'm not gonna lie to you. So a trip to Florida on us.
We're there.
But
We're there, no problem.
even just feeling it, the tint getting applied to those west facing bedrooms, I'm doing better on air conditioning now because the
absolutely.
heat
Big
was
difference.
like really thermal situation.
Your AC's not working as hard.
Right. And then talk to me about the security features of tint.
Security
Like,
film
why
is
would somebody
huge
want
right
that?
now.
Right.
Security film is huge. It helps buy time, prevent somebody from getting into your home, building. You could apply it with, we have tinted safety film as well, so you get benefits of solar film as well as safety film to prevent entry. It just buys time. It's really important. It helps prevent somebody breaking in. Anybody could just tap
Sure.
your glass with a hammer and they walk right in. Safety film, you have to bang on it a lot to get in.
I wasn't even aware of that. So that it
Yeah.
actually has some
It's
type
a-
of.
usually on average 8 mil thick film,
Okay.
and
They
you
have up to
have to
12.
bang it so hard.
Okay.
It makes so much noise that
You're
they would
literally
leave.
making the glass thicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We've
I did not know
we've
that.
tested it with guns.
Yeah, we shoot
We would shoot at it to see if it would penetrate it, and that film is holding that glass intact.
In a
So,
testing lab, of course.
of course.
Yeah, we're working on some films that are coming out really soon. Proprietary films that are actually going to help safety films become bulletproof.
That's incredible.
So it'll catch
we'll
a
have to
bullet
have you
before it
guys
actually
back
goes
when that
through.
comes done.
It actually helps
Yeah.
before it goes through. And it also will have the capability of shooting out, which is unbelievable.
Wow.
That's up and
For
coming
self-defense,
soon.
right.
Yeah, for schools. To help resource officers prevent
It's crazy that we have to have these conversations, right?
Huge. It's huge.
Prevention from active shooters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Which
huge.
is happening way too much.
Yeah, we're
Oh, yeah.
glad to be
Big
part
time.
of that, installing our films.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and soon we'll be out for cars.
See, it's just car people saving the world.
I'm trying.
I'm telling everybody.
Love what
I
we
mean,
do.
we're the
Cars.
best people.
It starts with
We
cars.
love what we do, laying film.
Starts with cars.
Anything. Paint protection film, solar film, safety film,
Yeah,
vinyl,
It's film.
you name it.
it's so cool. Talk to me a little bit about the father-son dynamic as you're watching him grow. You have then built your own brand, and now, because you guys are really, I mean, from the outside looking in, you're a really healthy dynamic.
We use it to our advantage.
Okay.
You know, because if we're going to talk to a client, we'll go together. You know,
Whatever it
it's
takes.
how we feed off of
For each
other.
other's
Yeah.
brands.
Yeah.
So I'll
That's
help him
incredible.
out work for his business. He'll help me mine. I'm trying to get him to answer all my phone calls because he does sell way better than me. It's crazy, but
We'll have to make you like an AI voice just for Sammy.
something. I'll
Yeah.
take
He's
it.
doing great. He's doing really well. He's mastered his craft like really well. Really well.
Aw,
Really proud of him.
that's incredible.
I'll put
That's
him up.
nice.
I'll put him up.
33.
That's very young.
I started when I was 8. You know, so how much years of experience is that?
I'll put
That's
him
all
up
I've
with
ever
anybody.
done.
Absolutely.
all
And
I
proudly. He
You
does
raised them the
great.
right way.
I've been
Yeah.
rapping since I
Yeah.
was 15. So think about it. How many? I don't even. I'm
Done
better
a
than
lot of
So
cars
you,
out
and
there.
what's really cool is, and that this is not a slight to any other father-son businesses out there, because there's a lot of auto body guys, and you know it's generational, and it you know, so I'm not talking against that, but what's also very interesting to me is you don't go that way, where it's just I'm just going to inherit daddy's stuff. You go and you are generating your own leads, going to car washes, giving people free consultation as to how to do their tints. And then you move into really a full mobile, you know, operation on yourself. Is that true?
When I was an independent contractor, I made my accounts where I would have a garage in each place. I would have a spot in each account that I had. I would leave my tools there. I would have multiple sets of tools, and I would just leave it at each account.
So
And I
almost
would
like a
schedule it.
subcontractor with a
As-
buddy almost.
Yeah, as
being
they
like,
would
okay.
get cars, they'd call me, when can you do this job? We'd schedule it. I would know when I can schedule, how long that job will take. I'll come knock that job out, go to another place. I'd be at 2-3 shops a day, you know? But
Smart.
I did that with having employees at those places. The bigger places, I'd have employees there helping me get the job done when I'm not there. But
Right.
at the same time, after 3-4 years is when me and him got back together. Like, he always had a shop, but I went back, and then we kind of started growing together. So I would do part-time there.
Yeah.
And I would do part-time at the other accounts. And as I would slowly lessen the accounts and stay more at the shop, and then start growing wrap time instead of other people's shops. It kind of happened naturally.
I would just call him, say, you got a couple cars you got to do. Was he going to say no?
Right.
Well,
And it's like, Dad, I'm here 5 days a week.
Yeah, you know, and
I
then it
was up-
became 2 days. And then, well, here you go, you got 4 cars now.
I don't sleep. I'm up 5
And now
a.m.
you got
I'm working
5
until 8,
cars.
9, 10, 11, 12. It don't matter, you know?
Now you got 7 PPFs, full wraps, you got to get them done.
So it's
Don't
like
worry
any
about
other.
the tint, but the PPF, you got
Think
to get
about it.
them
During
done.
this time, I
Yeah,
was
tents,
getting married.
small.
We got it all
Just had
down
a baby.
pat. Me and my guys, we wrap
The
up tints,
motivation
not a
was
problem.
there. You know,
We could
I was
average
hustling.
30, 40
So
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were working, and he was like, I'm going to go spend time with my grandson.
he does.
That's
He
awesome.
does.
What's that?
Go spend time with Kyler while I work.
Oh, man, that kid is amazing.
Talk to me a little bit about, you know, because there's father and sons out there who are not doing well.
No, it's hard. We have.
So talk to me about the truth, and talk to me
I'll tell
about.
it like it is.
Everybody
I'll
has
tell it like
bad
it is.
days.
It's frustrating sometimes.
Dad is
you
talking
know?
right now. Don't interrupt him.
It gets frustrating. No, you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But you know, I think of the big picture. You know, he's shining. You got to give him the floor a little bit, but he's got to stay in his lane at the same time. So, with that said, he pushes it sometimes. He pushes his boundaries. Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, but he's doing good. I'm very proud of him. Very proud.
I think it kind of speaks to like this broader sense, and you're probably going, because how old is your little man?
2.5.
2.5. Oh gosh. So now you're feeling it though right now, what I'm about to say, because we just left baby stuff, and now we're going into, oh, you're not okay. So but like you yeah, you start laying down that structure of this is okay and this is not okay,
Try to the best way I can.
you know. And if that, lane gets solid, because that's where you're at right now, is like, this is a yes and this is a no. And then you get further along in that. And then it's not about like, I want, which is what we're used to as your parent. Like, but it's like, no, I'm trying to stretch you to a different printer. I'm trying to stretch you to, and that's tough as a parent.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
In a way, it's rewarding to see it unfold and having that to deal with. I'd rather have that than not. So it's good because you get his side of the story too. So
Yes,
you get another
perspective.
opinion. Yeah, you get his side, a different view. You know, it's another generation. I'm an old school guy.
Right. And he's got that next generation of customers and leads, and you're like,
you?
yeah.
I drive a regular Ram 1500
33.
pickup. He drives the TRX. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm an old school guy.
I want to drive your TRX.
I think we can make that happen today.
You sure?
Yes. That's what he said. You said, you sure you want it? You're not going to want your truck back.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
You go right ahead.
So, Sammy, you talk to me now about your perspective of like branching out on your own, bringing new ideas to the table. Like, how have you found your success?
Well, it's easier, I guess, because like he's trying to learn like Facebook and Instagram, you know?
Yeah,
like I know it, you know?
I don't know that.
It's a little easier. So he's asking me questions and stuff, but he does it. He's good.
Yeah.
But I've always just, it's in my generation. But also, when I was working at a lot of shops, you know, I would be friends with multiple people at these shops. And
Sure.
over these years, these people left and started their own businesses. You know what I mean? What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
You sure?
Go ahead.
Sounds like a good story in your head.
I think you should ask him what's he laughing at.
I did.
Ask
No,
him.
you're doing good. I love it.
wants
It's
you to
so
ask
true.
him.
Keep it real. Tell him this good.
I started my own business.
Yes.
The other people at these other places left and started their own businesses. So I grew that networking, and this could be throughout the tri-state area. You know, this is Rockland
Yes.
County, this is Bergen County, this is Mahopac.
Connecticut.
You know, this
Yeah.
is over the bridge. You know, Yonkers, everywhere. You
Yeah.
know, Elmsford, everywhere. So I just had that. I grew that network, and I've been in so many different shops that I know what people are doing right and what they're not doing right and what they're doing wrong. And I've been in charge of running big multi-million-dollar car washes with these divisions of window tint and vinyl and PPF. And I was the one ordering the film and doing the job and getting the jobs done. You know, like I understood
Yeah.
it. And then I'm like, why the fuck am I making everybody money? I'm out of here.
There comes
Yeah.
that
You know
switch
what I
in
mean?
your
Like,
head.
what am I doing?
That's all you're doing. You're
That's
a
like, what the
hamster
fuck
on
am
a
I
wheel.
doing?
That's literally what you are. And I let him go see it.
That's
Well,
when,
there's
I
this-
came back.
There's a saying that if you work 40 hours a week, 9 to 5,
I'd rather work 100 on
5
my
days a
own.
week for 40 years, right? You're doing the same thing over and over again, okay? And the company doesn't care. They want you at the office making them money. They're going to sit in their big meetings, go out to their steak dinners. But if that's what you focus on, that's what you're going to do. And that happens all the time. Go to the subway, go to the street, go to the bus stops, and watch everybody rush to get to a job.
Oh, yeah.
So the bosses are happy with their work and trying to outdo everybody else.
And
And
it's
you know
funny.
what? You're going to be at the same paycheck 5 years from now, okay? Unless you get a 50-cent raise.
50 cent raise.
So the only
So
way
it's true, though. It's true.
the only way you're going to make it
Do it.
is you have to fail first.
Yes.
You have to find failure before you can find success, because
Oh, yes.
you can't just go into a business and say, you know what, I'm going to be a success, because many people have failed, okay? You know,
You have to
all these
fail
guys
sometimes.
that came along, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all of them. Jeff Bezos took a $10,000 loan from his parents, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They all started somewhere, but they're a little more fortunate than we are. But you guys are focused on a thing that's very, very popular right now. And your business can only grow.
Well,
there.
they've been going since '86.
Right. And you've been going since 1986 when the Toyota Supra was popular.
That's
okay?
right. That's right.
I know. Seth
Tint,
had-
I learned how to tint on those cars.
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you
My
already
husband
have.
was right about something.
Absolutely.
Oh,
He's
wow,
right on
like,
point.
wow, baby.
Right on point. The
I don't
Mitsubishi
know.
3000s
I don't
back
listen
then.
to
Well, it was
she
about
said.
the
I'm right
80s,
about a
so
lot
he
of
had to
things.
be
I just
right.
don't tell her everything. So
You
you,
and
know,
I
I
were
grew up
sleeping.
I grew up in the South Bronx in the 70s and 80s.
Nice. Yes.
And there's always poverty there. That's all you saw was poverty. So you either got a job, work, mind your business, you know, and you just kept it going. But the only way to check success is you got to take a chance. Once you fail, that's your stepping stone. So you know what? I don't want to ever go back there again. I never want to be hungry again. So right after you fail, your failure is part of your success. So then you grow from there. Then you make it better. But you have to work harder than
Gotta
everybody
work
else
hard.
that's beside you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think that's a big misnomer is like, oh, you work for yourself. I've never worked so hard
Work harder.
See?
in my life.
hard.
And I'm also enjoying
days
it
a
more
week.
than I ever
Work
have.
harder. That's
7
all you
days
think
a week.
about.
I'd rather work 100 hours a week for myself than
Yes.
work 40 hours for anybody else.
100%.
I'm sorry. It's just, and
It's
in
a paper
business,
check.
I've been doing this a long time. It's not easy to scale it. to
No,
run.
it's not.
I've failed many times.
You have a lot of people counting on you. It's a
Many
lot of
fail.
stress.
Yeah, but I just keep it moving, keep letting
And you
film, just
perfected
keep
your
going.
craft.
And you learn from it, and you keep it moving.
I have two, hopefully quick, funny little stories. So, like, who said it about you get a 50-cent raise? You said that? Okay.
Yeah, it's so
So when I was working, and I used to work in behavioral health, like healthcare, for
That's
like
my wife
15
does.
years. Oh, okay. We'll help her get out
So
too.
funny.
We'll rescue her one day.
Yes. Please.
I always say, like, I always miss the clients, the consumers. I don't miss the system. Like, I always say, every hospital has a disease.
It's true.
True.
Okay.
Very
I
true.
like that one.
Thank you.
That makes sense.
And I worked at really good ones. But to that point, to get that 50-cent raise or $1 raise an hour, they had a scale of your performance for the year from 1 to 5. 1 being like, you're a jerk, you don't show up to work. 3 being like, you did your job.
Attitude. Oh.
You did your job at 3. 4 was you exceeded expectations some of the time. And 5 was you exceeded expectations all of the time. And you only got the 50 cents
all the time.
That's
at
crazy.
the 5.
That's crazy.
So you could be going above and beyond and be labeled a 4
And not get nothing.
and not get nothing.
nothing.
Crazy.
So that was my one thing. I'm sorry, baby. And then my second story was that story that does it for all of you. Like when you're like having that moment of, I'm done making all y'all money. This is the last full-time social work type of job that I ever had. He and I had already started our business together because that's how we did this, was in construction health and safety consulting. And I was working with him, not for him. I was working with him on the side as I'm working my 9 to 5er, right? It's still there. There's the old Reader's Digest building in Chappaqua. So there's like a whole bunch of businesses in there. So, and they're out of business now. There was this business called Caramount Medical. It's now been bought a couple of times. I don't work for them. I work for somebody else, but we all share the same staff cafeteria. Right. I'm having my Cobb salad, right? And I look diagonally, and there's this elderly woman, kind of short and stocky, clutching her big grandma Nana purse on the table. And there's some young buck lady across from her. Okay, Amanda, or okay, Mrs. Sarah, whoever. So we just want to thank you for your time with us. It's been, 23 years. This is your packet.
Crazy.
Wow.
And she's saying goodbye to this woman
That's crazy.
in the middle of a staff cafeteria.
You're kidding. Just like that.
Just like that, to like what he says. And I went,
Unbelievable.
they don't give a.
No, not at all.
And nobody is gonna. This is something that my dad used to tell me, like that, entrepreneur spirit. He's like, nobody is gonna care about you except you.
No one's gonna
He's like,
come
you should
save
care
you.
about others. He's like, don't get me wrong. He's like, but the only person who is going to look out for you is you. And I remember like not even being able to finish my lunch, so disgusted of how this older lady who had dedicated her whole career and life, which couldn't have been easy,
That's crazy.
and just said goodbye to in a cafeteria.
just like that.
And that's what did it for me.
I wouldn't do it. Nope.
Sometimes you get a watch.
She didn't get a watch.
Oh, look, you started in 86, right?
86.
Yeah,
and
how old
I-
were you when you started?
I started playing with film when I was like 14 and a half years
Okay.
old as a just
So
trial and error.
all your success and hard work and dedication, sweat and sacrifice, right?
Yeah,
Over
learning.
40 years, 39 years this
39
year.
years, yeah.
Okay, you might have to call
25.
for-
He's young.
So 40 years, right, of your life that you're never going to get back.
Never
And the
gonna get
most
back.
valuable thing you're ever going to have in your life is the time. Mm-hmm. You can't buy it for no amount of
buy
money. Or the richest people in the world.
Can't buy it.
So everybody is always focused on what you have and not how you got it and where you came from.
You're not
They
kidding.
don't focus on the journey. They don't focus on the blood and the sweat. They appreciate what you got, that you have a nice car because they want to take pictures and films and selfies with it.
That's
right?
Oh, he knows all
You know
about
that? So
yeah.
that they're big on that now. Everybody's a goddamn influencer, okay? So that's why you took 30 of them.
I mean, there ain't nothing wrong
30
with that. people, right,
influencers on a
Sammy?
Lamborghini yacht and it tipped over. Well, because you're stupid.
Did you hear
I
about
saw
this?
that. That's crazy.
Okay?
What happened?
30 influencers were on the Lamborghini boat in
30?
Miami,
I heard that
Florida.
one. That was
Influencers were on the
crazy.
Lamborghini yacht.
And
then
it went upside down in
sunk.
Miami, right?
Right.
So there's only supposed to be like 8 people.
So
on
who
it or
are you
something?
influencing? Okay.
Dumb.
They were
Everybody's an
off-brand.
influencer. I mean, listen, I don't call myself an influencer, even though we're supposed to be or whatever.
You're a business owner.
But we want to make a difference in people's
Yeah.
lives, okay? When we go do
We're not
charity.
influencers, but we're going to influence you.
So if somebody comes up to me, right, and says to me, you know, one guy asked me, you know, how do you get what you get? Hard work and sweat and sacrifice, man. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. What's the answer you're looking for? When I was in Florida last week, I went to go look at some antique stuff that I'm sneaking into the garage, and I didn't tell her. Anyway, so anyway, I'm walking by the beach, and I was parked down the block, and there's like beaches next to the antique place and all that. So I was like, wow, look at that. So I'm standing there, and I see the water. It's beautiful. I love it. I love the beach, right? It's sunny outside, and there's a note on a McLaren, my McLaren 720 Spider.
I do not know this.
Nice.
So I open it up, and the guy goes, oh, he goes, I like your car, man. I have the note. It's in the house in Florida on the counter. He goes, I have your note, Bobby. I want to know how you found success. I want to learn from you. Can you call me or email me here? I'm like,
That's fucking weird.
You sure also didn't say daddy.
That's weird.
so he sees a car, and he automatically.
Automatic.
That's crazy.
Someone knows what I'm talking about.
Give
Stalker
him, flip the switch to him so he
Right,
can
so they
figure it
don't
out.
appreciate
Daddy,
where
could you tell me how you became
started. You started in
successful?
86,
With
man.
nothing.
It was nothing back.
Nah, my parents, we don't have anything.
Okay, you didn't make
know what I
any
mean?
money back then. You struggled. You had to sacrifice. You had to put food on the table.
I probably, when I was 14 and a half, I probably spent like $5,000 in material just to tip my car over the course of
just
a
to
year.
get
and a half.
you. That's what I'm saying.
The little bit of money I had, I just keep going back and forth.
And your legacy,
Yeah.
he's part of your
Yeah,
legacy.
definitely.
I actually always felt very happy and compelled to mentor many, many people in this industry. Many. I've probably trained and mentored at least 50, 60, 70, 80 people. Only a few of them took everything, like seriously.
That's correct.
Only like
the ones that are
under a
determined.
handful.
Yes.
Like very, very few.
Everybody's just there listening to you.
Unbelievable what they've done.
Well, that's that proverb, right? You can either, well, the proverb is old. It goes, you know, you
I
can
always
either
like to share.
give a man a fish or you can teach the man to fish. And like teaching people how to fish is way more fun.
Feed a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a life.
Yes, babe, that was the point of the proverb. Thank you for
That's the
mansplaining
right-
it for
that's the
everyone.
correct
Appreciate it.
pronunciation of the proverb.
Evidence.
So I
Evidence.
understand your sacrifice from 86. Listen, I started
Yeah.
construction when I was a kid in 82. I made $3.25 an hour, okay? 40 hours a week. You know what kind of paycheck that is, right?
Riding
So,
a bike
hundreds-
because you couldn't do a car.
I rode a bike. I couldn't afford a bike. I rode a bicycle to school with 2 5-gallon buckets of paint on my handlebars because I used to paint after work. Because I didn't make enough money doing that, so I used to paint apartments for a real estate agency. So I would carry 2 5-gallon bucks, tape on the handlebars all the way to the end. I tuck them under the brakes. I take the stick, I tie it to my backpack, and I have my rollers and brushes in the backpack, and the paint was delivered to the apartment. So I ride that to work on a construction site. Then at 3 o'clock, I ran to the job, and I worked till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night painting.
That's what I was doing.
If I get one room a night, I make $50.
That's what instilled your
When
hustle.
when he was born, my wife told me, you know, we had a baby. I was like, oh, great, no problem. I just got out of high school, so I loved how to tint. It wasn't my plan. I was going to go to college. You know,
Yeah.
just started tinting everybody's cars in school and making $100 a car or whatever it was, and started making some money and moved out really young. And I mean, all right, you just got to get serious now. So I worked for the Rockland Journal newspaper.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I had an early morning job while I was in high school. I was 16. I got my car. I finally got it iced and tinted. So I got a job being assistant manager for the afternoon after school. From like, I'd get out early. I always cut a class or two. Get out at 12:01, and I'd work till 3 and I'd do shortages in the newspaper. And then after 3 o'clock, I'd start tinting somebody's car. I always had it waiting
were
at the
ready to
house.
go.
Always. So I had income coming in from the paycheck from the shortage job. being a manager, meaning somebody didn't get their newspapers, they'd call, I didn't get paper, I'd go drive it to them. No problem.
Wow.
I didn't care because on the way there, I'd talk to a lot of people and
That's
give my
right.
card and gave me a reason to get
drive.
into their house.
Yes.
I got many houses to tint. A lot of houses to tint. I
You
learned
made
a
it
lot.
work. You made it work. You made your hustle
Yeah, I
work.
hustled, man. And then I was still in school too, by the way. And
Yeah.
then I graduated school. I kept that job for about 4 years, but I saw that I kept going to this one area all the time because they weren't getting the paper. So I went to my manager and told him, listen, this guy's messing up the route. He said, yeah, we're having a lot of problems. I said, why don't you give me the route? I knew the route was from 4 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'd go pick up my papers at 3 o'clock in the morning, work till 6, did the route, figured out it was like a 7-hour. I figured out how to do it in 3 hours, got it done, had somebody else help me for an hour in the morning. We knocked that out. 6, went to school, got out of school, then went to the shortage till 3, then tinted all night till 10.
Jeez.
Slept 4 hours.
Slept
And
five
do
hours.
it again.
I did it for 8 years.
Wow.
And then my tinting just, and then I opened the shop. I tinted on my house and opened the shop, and then I just went full time.
Yeah. You gave up
But
that
you
4
gotta
a.m.
hustle to make it happen. It's just, you can't just.
And you hated delivering newspapers because I hated it.
I
was
hated
drunk
that
in the
shit.
wintertime.
7 days a week, 365 days a year. Doesn't
I
matter,
did it.
rain or
I did
snow.
it. Tossing
I didn't care.
papers, pulling
Yeah, I'd
the
buy
arm out of
junk
the
cars.
socket.
I'd buy junk cars, but I make it happen. I got good work doing that.
But that's a good point. Like, especially
I
now.
built a good clientele. I go
Yeah.
to the big homes with the nice cars. It was great. I actually live in the area where I was doing my route. I bought a house. there.
Wow.
I ended up buying. I loved it so much. I bought a house in that neighborhood.
See?
So you manifested that too. It's like
I
to
guess
yourself.
so. Yeah, it's great.
Manifest. I think what's really interesting about that is, and I want to get Sammy your perspective on this too, but hearing from these two first, in terms of like, there's a lack of understanding about what working hard is.
You're not kidding. These days.
Like, people really think that working hard is limited to listening to someone tell me what to do from 8 to 4, 7 to 3, or 9 to 5, or 7 to 7, whatever the case may be. And they've been spoken to, and they think that is hard. And just hearing what your schedule was like, that's hard.
8 years straight.
Can you guys define for everybody what actually working hard is, please?
Well, for me, I've always worked like that since I was a kid. We grew up in poverty. 8 kids, 6 sisters. My dad down when I was 8. My mom she was a single mom of 8 kids. So you had to do something because she couldn't afford, everybody had a job. And
So let's just
You
pause
have
right there.
the-
No, because I want to get this quantified. So you have to participate.
well, not only participate, you gotta be responsible.
That's right.
You want
Yeah, own that
you want to work. I was working 18 hours a day. Even now, I
Even
still
now,
do it. Even still do it.
Still putting it in, and I love it.
57, I still do it.
I love this.
But you gotta take care of yourself, and you gotta be mentally focused.
You gotta be fit. You gotta be fit for it.
You want to get to a point in life where you don't have to do it anymore, and you can walk off into the sunset and sit in your backyard with your feet up
That's the game plan. That's what we're
Freedom is the real
been
goal.
working on
and
that.
have
and
him
it's
take
coming.
care of everything. After that.
That's it. He's
And don't
built-
take
he's
any
built
more
for it.
phone calls.
He's built for that.
And I think the other thing that maybe, Sammy, this is a segue for us too, is it seems to be less and less people are willing to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing is, I think, is if you're too comfortable, you're not doing anything. You got to be uncomfortable
Yeah.
to get anywhere or to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You got to get uncomfortable, and it's the only way you're gonna get somewhere. I think.
You told me what to do, and
Yeah, go figure.
I didn't like the way how she spoke to me. Okay, outside of me cursing you and being demoralizing, and I needed to be on time, and
My son was 10 years old. He goes, Daddy, I want some money. You do? Really? you want to go work with Daddy? Okay, we're getting up tomorrow morning. We're going to take the subway to Manhattan. So I was painting apartments. So we get up on a Saturday, 5 o'clock in the morning.
On a Saturday.
All right? We had to walk to the bus.
Yep.
Take a bus from Mount Vernon to the Bronx.
Perfect.
Get on number 2 trade. This is how I had to work. So I had no money. So he's 10 years old. So I made him scrape floors all day.
Great.
All the paint and everything,
Yes.
right? All day long, right? So I gave him $50 for the day instead, right?
It's not
So
bad.
he goes home, right? Wait. We worked 14 hours.
Oh.
We didn't get home 11 o'clock at night. Trains, buses. So make a long story short, he goes up to his mother at the time, right? Like my son's mother, and he goes, Mommy, please tell Daddy I don't want to work with him ever again. He goes, I can't work with Daddy no more. He goes, Mommy, I don't want any
And
more
you
money.
do it, Mommy, not me.
He goes, I don't want any more money. He goes, if Daddy wants to give me money, I'll take money, but I can't go to work with Daddy anymore.
I used to be scrubbing the windows.
That's
the
when I gave him his
removals.
first removal job. He had to remove all the film, but not just on a car, on a commercial big window,
Whoa.
a whole curtain wall.
So what'd you work off, a boom lift?
Oh,
I remember, yeah. And I'm
he's-
afraid of heights.
He's afraid of heights. I got
Yeah, but
I
you know
got him
why,
up
right?
high.
Just because I'm afraid of heights.
But you know, listen, I was afraid of heights too when I was young, and then I built skyscrapers. So you know how I got over it.
Yeah.
You went up
What
there?
happens is when you get close to the edge, the fear is that you're gonna fall. You got to get past that.
That's
as
it.
long as the edge is safe, you got to put that in your head.
That's right.
And that's why I became a safety guy, and I learned all that. As long as you get to the edge right here,
And it's safe.
right, there's always a parapet, there's always a wall, there's always a ladder. The reason why people get the fear of heights, from what I learned from the people that are like that, some of them get sick and throw up, it's because they feel like they're going to fall and they're never going to come back. So what you got to do is you got to look past that. You know what? This is my job. If you're working inside of a basket on a boom lift,
Yeah.
it's the
You do it all
safest
the
thing that
time.
you can do.
That's right.
Okay, the only thing you have is a tipping point. So what you got to do is make sure you're harnessed up. Make sure you got a guy on the ground. Make sure you got a watcher. Okay.
Who's
You gotta make sure
who's
you got
not
a
on his
spotter.
phone?
Make sure you're OSHA compliant.
Well, thank you.
Well, that's what we do. Right. So you gotta.
Thank you.
Once you
Little
do
plug.
that a couple of times, bring somebody in the basket with you. That's you want to.
Sometimes that's what I always
My
do. too.
advice is to bring somebody with
I'm
you.
telling you,
In
they're
the
very
basket.
Not afraid of heights.
That's right.
So if you two are in the
Uh-oh.
basket,
That's
on
me.
camera
That's
now.
me. I go all the way up.
You gotta be on
I
camera.
go all the way up. I don't mind.
No.
Oh, okay,
Sit
so-
down.
All the way up.
So say me and
down.
you get
Sit
into
down.
the basket, we close the cage, right?
Uh-huh.
Now we raise 80 feet up.
Yeah.
You got boom lifts up to 150 feet now.
Easy, 100 something feet. He'll
150 feet is
Let's
the
just go
highest I've ever
skydiving.
been.
He'll shit in his pants.
By myself inside of a staircase inside Manhattan.
Nope.
Okay, I was on a 50-story
Me
building.
and Sammy will be on the ground.
Listen to me. I was on a 50-story building, and I was a laborer, and they told me, they said, Bill, we need you to go on that boom lift, and we need you to put those 2 panels back in on the side of. I'm like, you want me to do what? No, that's not gonna. I'm not trained for it. Called my BA, all that. I said, listen, you can do whatever you want, lay me off. I'm not going on a boom lift 40 feet above a skyscraper. Okay, I'm not afraid of heights. I'm just not doing it. It was on the edge of a building with a walkway only 6 feet wide, and they put a boom lift in there, a small one. So what you got to do is bring somebody in the carriage with you, and just rise up with them. And I'm going to tell you, the more you do it,
The easier it gets.
the more you do it, the more you get used to it. Now, if you don't get used to it, then it wasn't meant to be for you. And I'm being honest.
Yeah,
with
it's
you.
true.
There's some
I'd
guys
go
that
up.
cannot work
do it.
in heights. It's
Well,
just
my
not.
metaphor is kind of like a heights, and then we got to move on. Is like climbing that mountain, right? That mountaineer, for that one person to get on top of whatever, it's not going to be everybody.
No.
But there's a whole team at the summit. There's a whole team at the base of the mountain. And as you climb up, and we're trying to climb together, as the air gets thinner,
Yeah.
some of us are going to fall off and hold back,
Yeah.
you know, and then some of us is just going to keep
Rising.
rising
Keep going.
up.
Keep going.
So you, hold on. So
I love going up in those heights. I go up 4 stories. I've been doing it forever. I've been taking
Yeah.
many big jobs.
16
many,
stories, man.
No problem. I go up 2
No problem.
stories. We lay a lot of film.
Listen, if you can do stuff like that, okay, just imagine how far you can go.
Right. So you both also have another big thing in common is you both like mentoring people and teaching your craft. And then
Absolutely. Why not?
noticing that how not everybody is cut the same. Because something that I had to break a bad habit of is, and it meant well. I really did mean well in this thinking where I'm like, well, everybody's trying hard and everybody's working hard and everyone's doing the best they can. Not everybody's doing the best they can. Not everybody's working hard. So when you guys are mentoring people, like what are like 2 or 3 characteristics that you find in somebody where like, this one's got it?
You gotta see if they pay attention, if they pick up the little details, and they actually pay attention.
Like you're not, hey, you look at me. Like they're already looking at you when you look up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as you go, and for example, if you train somebody or you show them a way over a period of numerous times, they should know the next step before you're already going on the next one, so they should be prepared. The ones that are not prepared for the next step, after doing it half a dozen times, they don't care for it.
Yeah.
The people after 2 or 3 times, they're on it, boom, they get it.
They want it. They wanna do something they're passionate
They
about.
become amazing. I just mentioned one addition to our team now. He's been 6 months with us. Amazing, right?
Sending full cars.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
banging cars out. Amazing.
So it sounds like paying attention,
Yeah. And
doing the repetition
gotta
without
care.
complaining.
you know what it is?
Yeah.
You know what it is? They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're not
Right,
wasting the
right.
time. They're like, wow, all right.
This is how this works.
This shit's
I'm bought
easier.
in.
And it's a craft.
They're like, what?
I'm in.
It saves time. I mean, I don't got to go through
Yes.
that struggle trying to redefine. They're not trying to
Yeah.
reinvent.
No.
Yes.
They're not
Like
trying to.
Einstein did the
And
light.
they already
Who's
learned.
reinventing the light right
And you
now?
already
I don't
taught
know.
them how to do it.
Yeah, and it works.
And then
But
the
there's always like
attitude to buy in.
Yeah, they
Those are
want to
three.
have it and appreciate the gift.
And you got to
'Cause
have a
it's
good
gift.
positive attitude.
Right.
It makes it so hard to find help.
It's a
And the
gift.
consistency.
It's got to be
Makes
difficult
it
to
so
find.
hard.
How many workers do you have altogether?
Well, I don't have even workers. We're team players. We're all a team. I'm affiliated with
Oh,
great
okay.
people.
All right. So how many team players are with you?
We've got at least 7 staffed all the time, ready
Full-time?
to go. And then I have, for commercial residentials, I have a team of about 15
Oh wow, that's great.
just for flat glass.
And you as well?
Anytime. Yeah.
I have 2 for me.
Yeah.
but
Yes.
I just started like 3 months ago, which it was like a guinea pig just to test it out, and now I'm all for it. So next year, so I started teaching in high school.
Yes.
Got a
kids.
great thing
So I'm
going.
teaching high school kids how to tint, how to vinyl, how to
Wow.
PPF, how to polish,
So you
how
got
to
your own
ceramic
classes
coat.
now.
Yeah, so I have my class
Wow,
in a
that's
school,
High schools.
working with a.
That's awesome.
Right,
Oh,
right next door with
administrative.
UTI, with the technology school, with a platform where they
that's
could be
awesome.
doing online videos and everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
talk to me, Sammy, about like the pitfalls or like what's been really hard about managing other people. What surprised you? What didn't surprise you?
I've
What do you like?
noticed that if you're young, you don't really listen. The younger the kids are, they don't listen. They don't care. They're
Like
just
we
there.
did.
They like what the cool, shiny stuff, but they don't care to actually show up at 5 a.m. and work. You know what I mean? Like they don't.
Nah,
care.
ain't
They don't
happening
care.
these days.
It's not happening.
The guy who gets up early in the morning is the one who's going to be successful and make it.
Absolutely.
You
And that's
gotta-
what you do.
You gotta get somebody from another country, and they'll do it for sure. Like it's crazy,
Yeah, because that's what it's come down to.
They need it. You know what I mean? They're working. They care. Here, it's like a lot of people. They just don't. It's lazy. I don't know what it is. It's a new
it's an
generation
epidemic of laziness. So like
It's crazy.
We have thankfully,
think-
yeah.
I'm sorry. to cut you
No,
off.
please.
To sum it up, I feel today's day is, I don't know why, it's such a growth in people feeling, or new generation feeling, entitlement.
You could say that for sure.
I think a lot of
I don't know why.
The parents.
For sure.
But
I
entitlement.
don't know if it's so much parents because I am a parent of a
You know what I mean?
13-year-old and I'm struggling with this myself. And listen, we're all in the influencer game. We're all on Instagram. We're all trying to get our
social media for
But
sure.
I think one of and I use also the metaphor pendulum a lot too. Things sway to one extreme but right now there are so many young people, I think, and I even catching myself having this problem. We're seeing so many people's end product done in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Someone who's been doing a craft, even if someone's been on Instagram for 8 years trying to get their humor right or their ASMR right, like whatever it is that they do, we are seeing them for anywhere from 15 seconds to 90 seconds, and they're polished and they're done. And it looks so easy that there's like this fake like narrative and reality as to like, oh, this is what this looks like.
YouTube
No.
makes everything look easy.
Right.
Right? I tell everybody, I just learned how to do this
Right.
last week on YouTube.
Right.
Teach
And
me.
then,
Oh, yeah. You
I got
saw
this.
that.
And then even in the listening, like we've all gone through the mosh pit of what is comments online. But like how many times, like sometimes I like to, Sean knows he hates that I take the bait sometimes, but sometimes I'm like, I'm doing this for my own entertainment. I'm fine. Yes. And then responding. But a lot of it is just like, did you hear the conversation?
No, they take
You
little
did- you
bits
ju-
and
you didn't
pieces
hear-
and what they want to hear, selective
Hear the
hearing.
dialogue.
Or
It's
like-
whatever they're thinking about.
They'll go into like a rage on an Instagram reel. And I'll be like, would you like to watch the full episode and get the full context?
They're dealing with something
They
internally.
can't. Oh, no, I know. But I just think it goes to like the not listening.
Yeah, I'll listen.
Well,
I'll
look
pay
at
attention.
the audience. I bet they're young.
Even though our audience is perfect. But so
Entitled.
Voting season,
let's get back to the motivational side of this thing. Is like, let's grab the people who are watching us and listening to us for real right now. Let's all throw out, like, let's go around and throw out like one characteristic of like what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And I will start, and then you just fast fire. Showing up before work starts. That's a big one for me. What is one of your favorite things? Like, if you're looking for a worker or you're looking for someone to get into small business, like, what's one thing they should be ready to do?
They have to be persistent and consistent, and they have to be disciplined
Okay.
I agree.
and reliable.
They gotta
Reliable,
care.
honest.
Gotta
Yeah.
care.
They
Your
gotta care.
attitude
They
matters.
gotta want it. They gotta want to be there and not treat it like a job. Actually want to be there to learn and have a passion for whatever it is.
Yeah.
If there's no passion or there's no motivation, they don't care.
And Sam, what is like your go-to, like, you need to have this when you work?
Integrity and pride in what you do.
Yes.
Value.
Yes.
Be proud
Amen.
to showcase what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we
give
came
it
up with a great
100, Give
list.
it 1,000%.
Yeah.
Be your best at whatever you could do
Yeah.
all the time, consistently.
Yeah, not to bring up a sports metaphor, but like both Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant talked about this. They were not the best at what they did.
They work.
And they got to the gym faster, they worked out longer, and they did the repetitions more, and they just stayed to the grind and to the integrity and to the timeliness and to the, just consistency of it all. The dedication of it all.
They were trying
Yeah.
to prove to somebody. Yeah,
Get the chip on
their
the
shoulder.
keep the
Yeah.
chip on the
Put
shoulder.
Put the
know
chip on
where
your
it is.
shoulder.
Yeah. Hammer it out if you have to. Make it hurt.
Create a chip.
Yeah. Get
whatever you gotta
uncomfortable.
do.
Put something in the shoe.
Whatever you
There's
gotta
always
do.
obstacles.
Wasn't there somebody who's to work out with something in their shoe on purpose? There's got to be.
Yeah, step on it to be annoying.
Just to be uncomfortable. And if they knew if they could do it uncomfortable,
That'd be perfect.
there's actually this is true. There's an Olympic swim coach. I don't remember which Olympian it was, but he's done this many times. He would do something to their goggles before every race on purpose. During practice. Sometimes they would be flipped on backwards. They'd be upside down. Something would be wrong with the cap.
things happen.
Something would be, he would put Vaseline on it without them knowing, so it was blurry. And they still had to swim the race. So that by the time the Olympics came, and he said, sure not, he was on the jumping block. Something happened with his cap or his goggles, and he said, I was ready for it because since I was 8 years old, my coach has been screwing with me
Yeah, it makes sense.
and made me uncomfortable on purpose. And you could cry or, Mommy, can you tell him not to mess with my goggles anymore? But made him uncomfortable on purpose so that he's on an Olympic block and he wins because he was okay being uncomfortable.
You know what helps me? Ice baths.
Are you into the cold plunge?
I love it. I love it. You put yourself,
I talk about being uncomfortable. I am not ready.
but that overcoming that in it's a mental. You're fighting yourself because your body's telling you to get out. You're crazy,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
You
You're gonna
overcome
die.
it.
You're gonna
focus on your breathing, and you can't. At 20 seconds, you're done. And it gets warm, and you're good, and you're calm. But the energy that you get after is insane.
It's
and the
almost like, what do they call
benefits.
that? Cold doping or something?
Cold plunge. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Well, no, when they used to
crazy.
freeze the blood and then infuse it back into you. Am I proving myself to be a
Sounds
child of the
crazy.
90s? What was it called? Something doping.
Something
Just me?
Like that. He jumps in these baths.
love
Doesn't
these ice
matter the
baths.
weather. It could be freezing out. He's outside on the deck.
That's awesome.
Well, it's also a form of rehabilitation too.
Well,
Discipline.
yeah, because it forces your body to make more
Discipline
red blood
and-
cells.
Yes, that's what it is. And when you do it, you don't get sick.
That's awesome.
You don't ever get sick, and it resets your circadian rhythm. You sleep better. Everything. There's so much good about it.
So every podcast, guys, we do something that's called going full throttle, where we ask you a bunch of fast Q&A questions, and you just answer the way you feel it. But before we do that, I want to just circle back on cars. Without giving your trade secrets away, like when someone is talking to you about, oh, I want to get car tint, or I'm thinking about it, like what are some things that you want customers to consider before they take, oh, I want 5%. Like what are some things that you want people to understand when it comes to quality, choice, all that kind of stuff?
Well, when it comes to a client picking a film, if they have a certain criteria, depending on what they want, if they're used to it, if it's for a certain reason,
Yeah.
we'll provide them with that product, no problem. But we also tell them the pros and the cons.
Yeah.
Always going to want to go with the latest technology. We don't have any cheap films. So we go with, even our darkest film, it's got the best clarity, but 5% tint is 5% tint. You're still looking at a dark tint. But we have films these days that are so modern that you don't have to go as dark as 5% to get the privacy you're looking for.
when he's driving the TRX and it's wintertime and we're picking up the Christmas trees, like I told you, I have to bring the windows down so I can make a left.
Yeah, we gotta get
We
rid of
might
that.
need you guys to come back and redo it.
It's too dark, right?
Too dark.
Yeah,
gotta
at
get
night.
rid
At
of it.
night, it's bad.
I haven't
my
seen it, but
gosh.
I'll
When you
take
drive
care
it, you'll see.
Yeah.
Mine is probably darker than yours.
No, this is horrible. This guy.
Oh, you guys,
I
I'm
hate
coming to
dark.
take
Truck's
care of
too
your home.
powerful.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you need to see. Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
take care of the house here and his trucks. I'll take care of your cars.
Oh,
please.
thank you.
My pleasure.
And Sammy, what about you? Your perspective and like how you go to, if someone's consulting you,
Wraps. You do a lot of consulting with color wraps,
Oh.
PPS.
Oh yeah. Usually, even with tint, like we usually have a card with every shade of tint at the shop that I can show people. You know,
All the time.
and usually show, oh, this is what it looks like from the inside out. And when people come, you're teaching them knowledge about the tint. That's
Educating
what
the
it is.
client
You're
is
educating
key.
them about the material that you're selling and you're
Yeah.
offering. So if a lot of shops, we hear it every day. Oh, I could get this cheaper. I could go to the Bronx. I could get
yes,
this done.
Yeah.
I got a guy.
I got a guy.
There's levels of tint. There's levels of install. There's levels of everything with that. So
Yes.
you get what you pay for, and you don't want to pay for something and it be cheap, and you got to remove
All
it. And
about-
6 months, a year later, it's annoying,
Yeah. Yeah.
All about clean work. Really clean, really meticulous. Especially the cars we work on. We wrap, protect everything on the inside of the car, all your electric modules, all
Yeah.
your multi-electronic sensors. It's not a car we don't take.
You got to know which car
gotta know what
has
you're
the
doing.
modules in which location. You got to know what to
Gotta-
take
you gotta
apart and
enjoy
what
the
not.
car.
You got to know each
Know
car.
the car.
Love cars. You got to do your research on
The
cars.
McLaren 720s,
That's
I
right.
gotta take the back glass out. The
We
tint,
take 'em
6
out.
screws.
We
You
take
you
'em
gotta
out.
know. I'm close with McLaren.
Absolutely.
Miller?
Mechanics over there. No, where is it? Ramsey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Ferrari,
you got
too.
I've learned so many just working on them. You got to know the little tricks about the McLarens. The McLarens are the most trickiest cars.
Yeah.
And then the hate that
Rolls
comes
Royce.
out is like, when they say like, oh, how much is to tint my McLaren? Oh, you don't need to spend that much to tint a
Yeah, I hear it all
McLaren.
the time.
We bought,
Getting
uh,
it
Get all the
Self.
time. Yeah.
we
Yeah,
worked with
okay.
Alex.
Like
Alex
Rolls Royce.
convinced me to buy. Well, I still have it. I bought a wrap for $2,000. Where it changes colors. It's black and white.
The
Yeah,
exterior,
yeah. What car?
The
the McLaren
It's
720S.
still in a box in my closet.
The film.
I want to see it.
You want to see it?
Well, I
Yes,
don't know.
that's-
It's we didn't move forward yet.
No.
Nope. It's in the box in Florida, probably.
So it's a color shift film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Color
Yes.
shift, flip flop, like almost.
Color shift.
McLarens do look good because of the body lines.
The
You
body
know,
lines
it
on it
does
is
look
hot.
cool.
So it's black and white because
Wow, I like to see
our
that.
McLaren is blue with black interior.
Saros
That'll
gray.
be sick.
Nice.
Saros gray. Saros
So
gray.
and we thought doing that wrap on that car and shooting videos of it would make it really go viral. Because
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
it's color shifting.
Yeah, color shift.
So it's gonna be black and white with blacked out wheels.
Depends on where the light's hitting it. It'll shift to a different color.
Well, we're not sure what to do now, right?
Well, now we're getting a consultation.
That's nice. Absolutely.
And now there's video
I got
evidence.
some good ideas.
We got some great ideas.
So we'll talk after the mic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get my windows
I do
done in
have- I
Florida.
do
Get
have
my
some- I
McLaren
do have
done.
something to say, Sammy, right?
Sammy and Sam. Yep.
Sam and
All right,
Sammy.
so I'm gonna give you the next time you got a planned meeting where you got to go inside of a basket. You call
What?
me the day before,
Oh.
and I'll come and I'll go
Oh, the
inside
boom
the
truck.
basket with you.
There you go. Let's do it.
And by the time I'm done with you, after a couple hours,
I'm like, he's not
I'll
baby
stay in the
Moses.
basket with you the whole
I'm not
time.
going to
Let's just go
basket.
skydiving.
Oh, yeah. He's
I'm not going
hyped.
skydiving. If you're going skydiving, then you can go in the fucking band basket. I'm gonna let you know that right now. I'm not jumping out of the plane. I'm not that stupid. First of all, I'm way too old for that shit.
Yeah, you get a heart attack.
Yeah. I'm 57.
We're up there, man.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Are we ready to go full throttle?
Let's do
Fellas
it.
behind the
Full
wheels.
throttle.
Let's
Uncle
do it.
Billy, you ready to go
Let's
full
go.
throttle?
Full throttle.
Well, you
What do
can't
you got?
answer. You can
I know,
react,
I know.
but you can't
I don't get
answer.
to say anything anymore.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back and forth between car questions and then like just personal stuff. All right, you ready?
Yes.
When buying a car, do you prefer new or pre-certified?
New.
New.
Okay,
All the time.
you're a bunch of new news in here. All right, with cars, years matter. Paddle or stick?
Manual stick.
Manual.
I used to be stick, but paddle shifts way faster.
I mean, if you're in a super,
Way
if you're in a
faster.
super Trofeo,
Yeah.
bang, bang,
I'd rather,
bang.
not just paddle all the way. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Depends the car.
Of course. So, what's your favorite car to drive in?
In a manual?
Yeah.
Would be a Porsche.
911 all the way.
Yeah, all the way.
So prior to 2019, anything older than 2019 in a Porsche?
Absolutely. Battle, definitely Ferrari. Definitely Ferrari guy.
They're Lambo people.
That's okay.
Yeah, I like him. I love Lambo. I know.
I
but
like
love
finding
Lambos too.
Ferrari people who
I
are
like-
happy.
No,
No,
people.
I know. I
No,
know.
listen,
they
there's
are,
nothing
but
wrong with
I
that.
love-
Ferraris are beautiful cars.
There's only a selected few. And I'm going back.
course.
Like going back to
Oh.
the 430s. You know,
Yeah,
old school
Yeah.
guys.
No, they're
1960s
beautiful cars.
Ferraris
Old
is
school guy.
unbelievable. 50s, I mean,
They're beautiful.
a Lambo wasn't even around in the 50s. You know, Ferrari was. No, serious.
There wouldn't be a
Lambo doesn't
Lamborghini if
come
it
in.
wasn't Ferrari.
Right.
That's right. That's right. I didn't want to say that.
He's
but,
bringing a
but I love
gun to a knife fight here.
No, I'm a Lambo guy. I like Lambos. I'm more Lambo.
I'm sorry.
What's coming? The Revolt?
Yeah,
Well,
we
we
had
had that.
one.
Yeah. How is it?
We already
You got
don't
rid of
have
it?
it.
Sold it?
Yeah.
We gave it back.
You didn't like it?
It's not for us.
It's not
wasn't
for
all
us.
that.
Listen, I said this last
We're
week.
not saying it's a beautiful car.
It's a
just
beautiful
not for
car.
us.
It's a beautiful
hybrid
car.
and it wasn't.
I get
So
it. I get it.
I say, listen, in terms of Lamborghini, the brand, we're very proud.
Absolutely.
Because they figured out the technology, the engineering to get it from full EV. It's not a hybrid car.
Right.
It is not a hybrid car. It goes in the hybrid. It goes from full EV into hybrid into a full gas for course of performance. Okay? So that's the only car that could do that. But to that point, I say nobody is buying a Lamborghini V12 to keep it in EV mode into
you.
Cheetah.
Yeah.
No one is driving in Cheetah. You know when I drove in Cheetah? When someone burned through all my gas. And then I had to be in Cheetah because that was the only
New C8, the E-Ray, or what's it
E-Ray.
called? Is that
like for
the
Cor-
vet-
for
yeah.
Corvette.
Corvette?
It's,
Yeah.
it's going to be the
What is it
Zora.
for?
It's
Is
going to
that
be
the same?
It's going to be the Zora. That's going to be the hybrid.
But there's
Is
an
it
E-Ray
Zora?
too.
Yeah,
There's an
that
E-Ray.
was-
I
There's
don't.
an
I, haven't,
E-Ray.
I don't know. I haven't
There's
heard
an
of it.
E-Ray, a Zora, and there's
coming
a
out.
fully
That one I don't know.
interior makeover for the ZR1.
Yeah.
They changed the whole interior to ZR1. They put 2 giant cup holders in there.
I saw it.
No,
the
they
black
look-
one. I saw it. No,
I
they
didn't- I
did.
didn't.
I like the back of the new Corvette where it looks more like the back, and they changed the hood.
Yeah,
The
so I'm on
scoop,
the list.
that's
We're
what
on
I
the
It
like.
is
list for the
beautiful.
That's what I
ZR1.
like.
I will
New
say.
one, 26.
I mean, we were on the first.
We're
we
trying.
We
I'm
were.
tinted for you.
We were also a first release of the
First, yeah, I'm
Rivolto
excited
too.
for
Like
you.
we were one of the first
Absolutely.
300 people on the East Coast to get our Rivolto.
Yeah.
Number one, I didn't really love how the rollout happened, and then secondly, I don't have the stomach to be Gen 1 ever again because the recalls
See, the
and
issues.
the tinkering stuff,
Tweaking.
and then I only got a choice of it's. Yes, I had the notoriety. I had to sign an NDA. I spec'd my car in the Lamborghini Lounge in Manhattan. I didn't know what the name of it was. Like all this mystery. Yes, I experienced that. I
Must have been
I
fun.
got a choice of one of 8 exterior colors. Now these Rivoltos are coming out with like
A variety.
a whole variety of shit. And I'm like, that's not like. So I didn't like how the marketing
Wait
rollout
after the
happened.
first year, always.
Exactly. All right, moving right around. Oh, this is a good one for you too.
Go ahead.
Okay, answer quickly. Do you prefer custom paint or custom wrap?
Vinyl. PPF.
Okay, 2 wrap guys. There we go. When driving any sports car, doesn't have to be a supercar, but any car, preferably a sports car. Do you like the 2 doors or the 4 doors?
4-door.
If it's a supercar, I like 4 doors, but if it's a supercar, 2-door.
What's your favorite model of a 4 door?
I'm a Mercedes. I like Mercedes.
Like a nice S class
Yeah, I like Mercedes.
or like an AM? No.
63.
Yes. How about you?
I
AMG.
like.
I was
mean,
gonna say that. And I doubted myself.
I mean, I like the RS. There's so many. I love the RS7. You know, I love the Porsche 4-door. The Taycan's pretty sick. The what's the other one? The
Macan?
Panamera is sick.
Oh, okay.
The GTS is
Cayenne.
insane.
Yeah,
Like,
Cayenne.
there's a lot
Cayenne
of power.
turbo.
Those trucks
Cayenne
are crazy.
turbo.
Just any of the
lot of
newer
people like
cars,
those.
the technology in it. You
And
step
German
on it,
engineering.
what?
Unbelievable.
You are out.
They offered us the Cayenne.
Cayenne Turbo.
What we're going to do with it?
It's an amazing car.
Got
I
2
gotta tell you.
Ursuses.
Yeah, no, you keep that.
All right. Do you prefer Chevy muscle or Mopar?
Mopar.
Solid.
Mopar.
Solid. Solid. Okay. The infamous TRX or Raptor.
Come on. It's not even a question.
TRX.
Roaring up
When we
here,
get
that's
outside,
great.
you're gonna see. You get into the
Yeah,
back
right.
bed of the truck.
Love it.
We have a huge decal. Takes the whole bed of the truck.
gotta see
It's a
it.
TRX eating a Raptor.
That's sick.
It has a Raptor in
That's
its
sick.
mouth.
Dave's gonna love that
We're
one.
going to go on it in a minute. Don't worry.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay.
You want to switch?
What?
You take mine, I'll take yours.
No, you don't
Come on,
know.
come on. I'll wrap it.
Your favorite color or favorite color of film to wrap with?
My favorite color is satin chrome red. It's just so damn expensive.
Satin
like
chrome
almost
red.
$3,000
Who
for
makes
a
it?
roll. Avery.
Satin
But-
chrome
so-
red.
Yeah, I don't like chrome, but it's satin chrome red because you don't see that reflection, but it looks
Yeah.
such a sheer.
You have a picture of that? I wanna see that.
It looks so
Wow.
sick. You could get satin blue chrome, satin red
Satin
chrome,
blue,
any of
wow.
those. It looks so
Yeah.
sick.
Okay. In your opinion, what is the most important accessory on a car?
Well, of course, it's window film for me.
Amen.
Window tint, absolutely. The right percentage.
What's yours?
PPF.
All right. You guys are so on brand. That's so funny.
That's all right. Follow the sun.
Do you prefer a coupe or a spider?
A spider.
Fun.
Spider.
Let my no hair blow in the wind.
Especially with the McLarens. I mean, McLaren does
I got a
spider
bald
very
head, so
well.
I'm
Dude,
good.
I'll be there. Give me a year.
Do you would you prefer a BMW M competition series or an import tuner?
BMW.
BMW.
All right, buddies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out Greggy.
Right? Yeah, he is like the most best BMW
Oh, he's the
M guy.
biggest
He's the
BMW
best M guy
enthusiast.
around.
Absolutely.
Turbo or supercharger?
Turbo, I say.
Supercharged all the way.
Finally have a disconnect of the brains.
Yup.
They are two different people. See?
Oh, yeah.
That's cute.
He
All right.
brings the added touch. I'm
Oh.
I'm a dinosaur, but it's still
I wouldn't
running.
say that. Your favorite city to travel to?
Miami.
Miami. Really?
Miami's nice.
Miami's nice. And so when you're in Miami, what's your favorite restaurant or what's the order when you go to Miami?
I haven't been there. in
Remember,
a
your
long
wives are
time.
listening.
Yeah, I think I haven't been there since before my wife, so maybe I shouldn't answer that.
All
But
right, so when-
Cleveland's. I'll go to Cleveland's. That would be a
Cleveland's?
nice fun place.
Okay.
I just last time I went to Miami, I stayed at the Blue Hilton.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Restaurant, Fountain Blue.
Found
Yeah, there's a blue
Yeah,
something
there's a
there.
restaurant there. Oh my God,
Yeah,
It's right on the beach.
It looks nice outside. Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
The bill was great too.
Miami's one of those
But
cities where you can have good food outside of New York.
Miami has some good cultural food.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Just food in general.
Latin food too.
I like
was
all
pretty
that.
impressed.
Food, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
delicious.
I'm just gonna spend a lot out there.
Yeah.
I gotta
You
check
like
the Lambo guy.
OEM plus or aftermarket?
Aftermarket.
Very creative.
I'm an
Great.
Orient Plus guy.
Yeah, standard. Nothing wrong with that. Do you when you're out with the cars and you're driving, do you prefer the rally or cruise?
I don't think I'm ever in cruise.
I'm a cruiser.
Nice.
I like to waste gas.
When you are pumping up the music loud in the car, what is your favorite go-to song style? You got a certain
I
hype.
like the Savage.
He likes Teddy Swims. He likes. Bad Dreams.
Love it.
Bad
Teddy
Dreams.
Swims,
That's it.
yeah.
Billy loves Teddy
Jelly
Swims.
Roll.
Yeah, Jelly Roll.
No, you guys. Wow. All right, now you have to have cigars or something
Yeah,
together at this point. Oh my gosh.
That's right.
GTR, Hellcats.
GTR. Damn. No. Hellcat.
No?
Hellcat.
Okay. Tough on the spot. Don't worry, because we own both of these. McLaren or Lambo?
McLaren.
Lambo.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
McLaren brakes too.
Okay, and the last one, when we're thinking about paint, and we started talking about this already. In terms of finishes, do you prefer a matte or like a metallic gloss?
I'd prefer a metallic because once that matte scratches, you're screwed.
Yes, it's high maintenance.
You can't polish it out.
You can't, because then you're going to be glossing the whole car.
If you scratch any of those AMG, the G wagons, the matte finishes, you get
Mm-hmm.
a scratch, you're done. That's why they made the matte PPF to protect those, so you can wash it and clean it. You get any swirls, that's there. You can't
It's
polish
over.
it out.
No, you
I'm
can't.
trying to match him.
No, you'd have to repaint it, and then good luck. It's a $30,000 paint job.
So what I want you guys to do now, because it's been so awesome having you, talking to the microphone, say your name and where they can find you, whether it's Instagram or website or whatever you want to say.
My name is Sam from Rap Time. You can find me at Rap Time LLC, Instagram.
Yay!
Sam from Sam's Window Tinting, 11 Dumont Avenue, Dumont, New Jersey. Sam's Tint, Instagram. Sam's Window Tinting on Facebook. Why squint when you could tint?
Why squint when you could tint?
Let them know.
That is awesome. Let them know.
I love it.
Why squint when you can tint?
Let them know.
I'm Shari Schwick. That was Uncle Billy.
Billy in
This
the
is Sammy from Say Your Call Again.
Rap Time.
Why squint when you can
And
tint?
Sam from Sam's Window Tint.
That's
we have been
right.
behind the wheels at Schwick Wheels. Say something, baby.
Why squint when you can
Let
tint?
them know, Bill. My man.
No.
I'm gonna give you a professional window film.
Sure, it's just a little crack.
No. We gotta make it look right.
Yo, you see this guy?
No. No, look at this, Ted. No, we gotta hook it up. Me and my team will come here and give you a beautiful job.
We'll videotape it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll videotape it for
You
you.
know what's crazy?
Videotape us
You know what's
doing a
crazy?
job.
This pops out. You don't need to cut these all separate. This pops out.
Yeah, I know they do.
No, they did take it out, man. It's just ghetto cut. I'm gonna fix this for them.
Oh,
I'm gonna give them a beautiful job in that truck.
Yeah, you know, it was
Let's
a
go
whole
look at the
Depot.
window tint on the van.
Home Depot.
Let's go look at the tint on the
Oh yeah, go take it for a ride. You got the key?
Yeah.
Oh
Check
yeah.
this out.
All right, let me move the BMW.
Yeah, I want to see how it looks. I love this shit. Let's take a look. Oh man. Oh damn. Come on.
Blue.
No, look at it. No way. No. You got the key, got the key.
Fuck the 10. I want to see how what a 1500 horsepower TRX.
I know you're a TRX lover, boy. Yeah, this thing's gotta be redone. Woo! Yeah, buddy. Let's do this. Yeah, I know you're psyched.
Did you look at the back?
Let's do the back. What? Oh,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's crazy. That's sick.
Now what? Huh?
This shit's insane.
Mammoth 1000
Yeah,
Hennessy.
Hennessy. He went and bought it from Hennessy.
That
Or
truck's
bought it and then brought it
Brought to Hennessy,
I
yeah.
love it.
And then did more when he got back.
Yeah.
Hennessy, that TRX. I love it.
Do you like what I did with it?
Oh my
love
God,
this
this thing is crazy.
It was all my ideas. Look,
I love it. I see you put the logo up
I
top.
put this in here.
you know,
I
shit
want
on
to
mine.
change this.
Shit it on mine.
I want to change this to the. No, I don't want to paint it.
You don't want to
I
paint
want the
it?
ribbons.
Oh, you
I
want
like
to
the
change?
bolts. You like the rivets, the bolts?
I want the bolts.
I like the clean.
Have you ever seen them when they're when
Color
you
cases.
put them together and you make it all one? It
You
looks
paint them
sick.
So-
paint all white, all white.
Can you change these?
Yeah.
So put the bolt ones on for me. We'll bring the car to your shop.
Let's do
We
it.
gotta fix the tints. They're too dark,
Just
right?
give me the truck for a day. I'll leave you mine and I take it.
Unlucky.
Oh, here.
I got it.
He got the key. You guys are going.